Hello everyone, welcome to Treasure Chest Tuesday. This is Susan Taylor Shire and you are listening to Soul Mastery. And there was a beautiful group of us that just finished an immersion, 21 days, and it was in accelerating your soul's infinite abundance field. And I am just so impressed with how people came forward with what it was that was not working for them and so quickly and beautifully transformed that through their resource of connection so that they could be a whole new person in the world and feel the true abundance that their soul infinitely is connected to. Bring that in, bring that forward, and have a plan B. And that is such a key, having a plan B. So I want to speak today. It's a little bit off the cuff, how do I want to say it? A little raw, a little bit funky, but I want to talk about what's been happening in the United States recently, in this past week. And if you live someplace else or you've been living under a rock here, it relates to the potential Supreme Court nomination, and there was a hearing as it related to a woman who was coming forward to speak about sexual abuse by the nominee. I won't go into the details of it, but it certainly gave me lots to have opinions, beliefs about, feelings, thoughts about, like everyone else. And it felt good to just unlock a lot of stuff in the body memory as it relates to victim perpetrator and what I call now the consumer and the fear of being consumed. The victim is the one who fears they're going to be consumed, and the perpetrator is the one that does the consumering. Just to give it a different spin on it. So, he said, she said, all of that. Who's right, who's wrong? What I want to do today is speak about a more depthful place of what we can do. What we can do, yes, there's lots we can do in the United States as it relates to this issue that comes out of the Me Too movement. But there's also a lot we can do in our everyday to help alleviate this horrific chasm between people that is occurring all the time. So, the consumer and the one who feels consumed. I know in my experience, I have allowed people to consume me, take advantage of me in various ways. I know I've also closed off my heart and said, no way in heck is anyone going to get near me. And that's the only way I know to stop the perpetrator consumer from hurting me. Neither one seems to work very well because we want to be able to exchange with other people. We want to feel like we don't have to keep the world at bay or sit in anger with everybody and everything. We also don't want to have to sit around and go, I'm waiting for this world to align with the way I think, feel, and perceive how life is supposed to be. I'm waiting for the world to align with that. And in the meantime, everybody else is off my list. We can't create from that place. We can't control the world and try to make everybody like we want them to be. It's just not going to happen. Free will, free choice. You don't want people controlling you and telling you how you're supposed to be, so who am I to say, when the world gets it together, then I'll be able to bring myself forward. Creative power is an inner state, and that's what we want to turn on to. Only when we are past the feeling of being a victim to outside sources will we be able to come into that creative power. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect at that. I know I'm still working with some fears of being consumed for sure. What I'm getting at is as you align more and more with your true creative power infinitely, as a God-given, I deserve to be here, my life matters, I am creative, and the power moves all the way through my body. This is who I am feeling, and I'm honoring this above all else without it being a screw you kind of attitude. It's just, this is who I am. When you're in this place of this is who I am, that's where true safety comes in. True safety because you're feeling that the force, the source, and the infinite universe is with you because you feel it, you bring it in. And when you're in that space, there is no victim, perpetrator, consumer, consumed dichotomy going on, either internally or with you against the world. You feel safe to be your authentic, powerful, loved, supported, and honored self. And that's what I want for you. And that's why you're here, because you want that for yourself and you want to discover how to be that. So just notice when you feel yourself a victim, because that is the biggest wound of separation, is feeling that we're a victim, either to our physical body and its limitation, theoretically, to systems of this world, to bosses, to other people that are energetically less sensitive than us, just to the world around us. We feel like we are not free to be ourselves. It's not true. You can make a difference. People say to me all the time, what's my purpose? I want to contribute more. I want to be a healer. That feels like a great way to contribute. Well, the way that you can be a healer is to heal this victim-perpetrator sense within you. It takes an inner dynamic to be clarified for you to have the courage to be all you need to be. And that means you are naturally then a healer. You are an inspiration. You are bringing healing energy to the world, saying it is possible to hold creative power. It is possible. And when you are in that space, then you are not afraid of being consumed. You're not in caution and having to hold up the boundary of protection that says, go away, because I pick up everybody's energy, so to speak. Not me, but when you're feeling that, okay? So how to get out of that victim dynamic? To start with right now, just notice it. How often, even if you just complain a little bit, there's a sense of, wow, I'm a victim here. I'm a victim here. And in this movement we're calling Me Too, it's about standing up. It's about time's up, which means time's up on the dynamic of victim-perpetrator, consumed by fear of being consumed, and being afraid of the consumer. That changes inside first, doesn't it? So just bringing your awareness to how often you find yourself acting like a victim, acting like, I have to be afraid of that outside world. What can I do? Look at them. They're more powerful, so to speak. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, the emperor has no clothes. That Wizard of Oz is not as powerful as they look. It's all a front. It's an inside job. And as you change that, then it changes for the people who are looking for someone to consume. All right? So, we have a little of that going on outside right now. I don't know if you can hear it in the background with a child. So, I encourage you this week to just be more aware of where your heart lies, how you can champion creative power where you see it, how you can champion those standing up for themselves who have obviously moved beyond being a victim and can declare, this is who I am, this is what I see, and this is my truth. And you can do more of that for yourself. And as you speak your truth, know that you will be loved by this whole universe. So you don't have to be afraid that when I speak for myself, I will lose acceptance, approval, and love. So go for it. We've got lots going on in the outside world here where I'm making my video. And we still hold that creative power. I will not be stopped by the fact that the world is doing all sorts of fun things in the outer. I will hold this power, be an inspiration, and uplift this world and contribute moment by moment by the way I bring myself forward. And this is your declaration. If I can do it, you can do it. We can all do it together. What a magnificent co-creation with spirit we are about. With deepest love and blessing to you. Feel free to share this with a friend. And if you're not signed up for my email list, go to soulmastery.net. Lots of free gifts, goodies, more wisdom, and I send you a video every week of Spirit's pulsation and how it wants to bring itself forward through you. It's great to be with you, always.